different story. For them, that's unacceptable.
They would have lost a team overall, but here's the aggression. It's not going to work out whatsoever. Cerq is so good on Inferno. Watch out for him as the game develops. He gets some frags there and shuts down the aggression of FaZe completely. 5 versus 3, no damage inflicted by the CTs. And at this point, got 1 minute 20 on the clock. They don't have to do much at all. Cerq gets his 3rd of the round. Be applying that pressure. More. Nico will eventually take him down, but that should be round complete here. Nico left in an impossible situation. Breezy will take him, and there we have it. It will be NRG running away with the pistol there, I have to say. Didn't even have to deploy strategy, really. CTs came to them.
No, that was fantastic. You're right. They didn't do much at all. That said, just to go back to the point as well, yeah, for FaZe to go down in this situation, last place in this event, would be astronomically horrible. With Fnatic, another team that you expect so much of, and they didn't really put that best foot forward. They didn't play that on the screen. It is a matter of circumstance. For NRG to lose to Liquid and FaZe and go out, it's not that bad. It's weird how for one team it would look much worse than the other, but that's the problem with sort of the statistic aspect of it. You're looking at it and go, oh, they were last. They more to it than that. So as long as NRG can put up good numbers here, there might be something in it. It's an unfortunate situation. Nonetheless, they're already at 1-0. Rain's having some fun. He's just a bot on an algorithm at that point. Eagles to play with. See more MP5s today, Henry? Ooh, not bad, Fugly.
I'm sure we will. There's plenty of them yesterday. Fugly will open things up, take down Olofmeister, and Guardian here. CZ in hand. That's got 3 players on this side of the map. Nico waiting in spawn. This could get a little bit uncomfortable for the terrorist forces. We've got to take 1 down. It's such a little bail out of the situation. For a boost here, Nico with the Desert Eagle trying to deny the plan, but can't make it there in time. Guardian taking out of the process. And Nico wants to make from the ruins area. Maybe able to get 1 kill here, but they're playing very passively, not giving too much away. That's what you want to do. Some days are numbered here. Might want to consider saving the team, but that's not a bad shot whatsoever. It's Daps to go down. That won't really help out FaZe too much in terms of winning the round, but it does take away some energy. Rain will be dropped as well. Nico trying to find anything he can to remove from this situation. He actually has got a Galil, and he's taken the Deagle. So they've got 3 kills. They've got a rifle. That's not too bad for FaZe. 2-0 for NRG though. Not really much can be done with this Galil, but he can drop the Deagle for a teammate. That can be put in the hands of Rain, for example. He goes to Guardian. Now he has a Galil. They might really consider getting a flashbang here, just to see if Nico can get aggressive at B and maybe get a frag and fall back. See what he decides to do.
Single Galil in hand. Nico. It's so funny. There's so much going on, right? Certainly, you would want it to be Nico just based on his playstyle, but anyone could carry the weapon and wield it well. So utility used inside of Banana. Nico taking a nade, not touched by the flames. He's going to stand with them now, however. Gets 1 kill for Nico again fast enough, and that gives Ethan actually 2 kills because it's off a shot with the Mac-10. He's and Cerq actually beat him to it. I think him again to find the kill, but it's nonetheless going to be the site opened up for NRG and should be the round as well.
Yes, Nico gets 1, but that's pretty much all that's going to happen here. By the looks of things, 4 players will survive for NRG. Let's have a look at Guardian. Can find anything though. Maybe has got that Deagle. Carrigan might be a little bit out of luck. Great stuff by him. Olofmeister way up Breezy. Allowed them to get 1 kill there. Carrigan will get an extra $3 for the next round. Guardian won't. So there we have it. 3-0. No real bonus round in store for NRG. Lost quite a lot of firepower along the way. And we've got Guardian on the AWP now, and I'm sure him versus Cerq, who's an incredibly gifted T-side Inferno Orba. That will be a very fun battle to follow. Cerq getting it done through his teammate. That's where the wallbang symbol comes from. Guardian, I'm not sure if he's super aggressive to kick things off. We'll find out. Cerq has the AWP as well. I didn't anticipate that. Doesn't commit towards T-steps. Just to watch any players crossing towards underpass. Then Focuses attention towards second middle. There we go. Slow approach here from NRG. Daps, as usual, fighting for B control. Himself towards our half wall. See a lot of in-game leaders take this responsibility. Joining the absolute star of this squad along with Cerq, I would say. This AWP is going to be very powerful as the game develops. He's holding back, very classic setup. To a B, Guardian patrolling middle, and Nico and Rain and crossfires on the A site.
So the fountain, just getting a little drink, a little parched.
Yep.
Can't blame them. I'd say they should add some burst, but they should be able to stand on them and glitch out of the map. Remember that on train? Yeah, Rain playing the game inside of it. We saw Simple take the approach yesterday, get inside of it, get above it, and try and fade away. He is caught out by Breezy. That's 2 kills for him on entry as well. It allows the bomb plant, gives the advantage firmly to NRG now that the bomb is down. Keep an eye on Breezy today.
Yeah, he was excellent yesterday. Didn't win the series against Liquid, but
the other man who's excellent, by the way, 7 kills already.
Yes.
T-side op. Not that all of them have been on the op, but Cerq, just to quickly carry on.
Both of them very good. They've got some great players in NRG. That's the point he's making. They've got lots of talent in this squad. Ethan, Breezy, Cerq, and then obviously Fugly and Daps, not exactly the starring roles, but Daps being game leader, Fugly certainly support, and yeah, watch out for the 3 big names there. NRG have got talent from Buckets. Survive for FaZe here. Carrigan will be there with Olof Meister. I don't think they'll be forcing up around him though. But the fact that Olaf's got the AWP, you never know. Could go for it. You know, about 3k per player. Carrigan could drop a UMP. So could Olaf. I'd say maybe this is worth a buy. But I can see a couple of Deagles purchased. A CZ there for Guardian. And for now, no upgrades really apart from those pistols there. No armor and basic utility. We'll see if Olaf Meister can make this all work out for himself. He won't be committing towards the T-steps, just waiting for anyone to cross, similar to what Guardian was doing. You can see NRG being very slow and patient here, knowing the fact that the orb is available. Olaf inspects T-steps there. Not normally advised on that side of the server.
So Cerq just chilling, hanging out with that op, seeing if anyone does get a little bit careless over the top side of mid. Olaf going to keep his in retreat, in a more passive position toward the arch. Not unexpected. Bomb still down toward the T-stairs means that NRG are actually just trying to solve and sort the map first and foremost. But Nico down inside of the apartments is just a pistol lost. A little bit of information for FaZe, but nonetheless, man, down. Olaf's going to take that information. If he knows they're inside of the apartments, he wants to lock them into alt middle. Daps has that figured out, and then some. Clean, easy kill. Fugly takes Rain round down, I'm sure.
Now what would happen in a world where FaZe got deadlocked?
I think a change. I think that is the catalyst.
Well, all this chat, you captured in-game interview, pre-game interview Carrigan when they asked him.
With James Banks?
Yeah, and they asked him, oh, who's the in-game leader? Why are they being so coy about it? Like, why is that top secret information?
I think that's Carrigan being coy about it. Yeah. I think he knows there's flack heading his way from the public if he's not in-game leading and that's publicly released. So I think that there's
the fact you're acting like that in the sense, that's going to get more people talking about it. It's like, obviously,
maybe they just want to troll too.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems a bit odd to me. I feel like there's definitely a problem within the FaZe machine right now.
Yeah. No, I think that if you came dead last in New York, what's next for them? Do we know?
Probably.
There's a Star Ladder and an Epicenter coming up, but I don't think they're. Yeah, definitely not at Star Ladder. Yeah, I think it's out there. I haven't seen it either way.
They've got Pro League starting, things like that. That's about it.
Yeah, so this would be the time for change. Let's just put it that way.
Well, the thing is, the Pro League roster locks close in about 3 days' time. So if you are going to change a thing, you do have to do it now.
Which for ECS or for EPL?
For EPL.
Okay. I'm surprised EPL wouldn't give a bigger window after the back of one of their events, but interesting. That means you have to do it. I guess if they're out, they've got time to do it, right? They can make the. If they're playing until Sunday, it's a little bit different. I mean, we're getting way speculating, but it would be the time for change.
Sure. Yeah, we are getting a little bit out of it. We're just it's just there's a lot of signs as to whether we'll see some crazy roster changes go down. But time will tell. FaZe for now. Back on a full buy. It's going to be Olofmeister and Guardian. Usually Nico picks up the secondary orb on this particular map, but they've changed things up these past few weeks. Olof will be banana with Carrigan right now, but NRG heading towards C4. This is the old banana split coming through potentially here, and Breezy spotted one. They're 5-0 up on the T side of Inferno, and they've got great positional control of the map right now. That smoke down is fantastic, but so is the play from Carrigan. He'll get one. Can he find the double? Certainly can. Breezy dropped as well. Olofmeister now in a spot of bother. Needs to be very careful. He can't go down with nothing. Successfully retreats towards new boxes here, but still needs to hit the shots. Ethan's coming in. Talent from this squad. Perfectly done as he takes down Olofmeister. Here. This is a chance.
Carrigan.
Bomb has been planted.
Just hanging out. Cerq, meanwhile, has the op. Around, and Carrigan's got the shot back of the M4 to Fugly. Keep Ethan in mind. He's still.
This is one, and Ethan was certainly capable of going off, in my opinion. We get into round 7 here. Double up setup, still ball off the Guardian. They've made some changes. Remember, it's always Nico who went towards B with the AWP for the longest amount of time, and it always looks a bit weak. And we'll see Olofmeister maybe attempting that now, and allowing Nico to focus purely on rifles. So here's Carrigan, and for this time, trying to be a little bit more assertive with the banana control. 5-1. FaZe cannot afford to lose this as 3 players head towards the apartments here. This will be an explosion-style strategy. Nico's in a perfect position to shut it down. Rain's there as well. Flash is going to be deployed. The smokes are coming through. And Nico will find the first kill. Good follow-up grenade as well.
Rain to take out Breezy, gets caught up on the balcony. Doesn't actually find any footing. Ethan somehow does. That was so quick to react to the little vision he had during that jump. Only manages a single kill though as Nico puts it down immediately after. And then
Nico, like I said, great positioning here with Rain in front of him as well. And into duck and weave around the smokes. Into round number 8 here. Guardian with the orb once again. Nice, same story. I'll see how effective that can be towards B. The smoke incendiary combo does take a little bit of damage there. Carrigan not really feeling it. Got to fall back. Not going to have full control just yet, but they have pushed the terrorists back. They do their default now. The wallbang attempt towards the apartments there from Breezy. Even if you don't kill anyone there, you can at least know that area is going to be clear. So his Guardian peeking towards middle, and how quick was that? Brilliant stuff.
Not bad. You don't often see an opera take that fight that late into a round to swing out that far on mid. Snaps. Fun hanging out in the apartments. University days. Not quite as quick as Guardian there.
Not quite.
He gave it a go. He gave it a crack. Fall back now. Flashed off the angle. They are starting to take over some banana control. So 40 seconds. Finally, they do that. Bomb's still heading back toward mid, though, suggestive that it's going to go A, perhaps? I mean, they've got to make a decision here now. 35 seconds on the clock. They've got Fugly that's been holding toward the apartments. He's had to reveal himself because they spotted him. And the Molotov's going to hold him off. That takes away the approach of splitting the site with quad. So he's going to get there. Fugly can't do anything yet. I say that now.
Take liquid towards right. There's a chance for them to take out the second map. With Dust 2, they were very hopeful that was going to be their secret weapon. Didn't really pan out like that. Now looking towards T-steps, knowing that they don't have any sort of AWP potential, now he can afford to be a little bit more aggressive in that respect. So CZ's a deagle, some armor as they hover around the 3rd stage. Lost bonus here. There's a flashbang towards B, just to push in the AWPers back. Ethan waiting for the shot. And hopefully they'll make it all the way to the top. We can see whether a very slight execution come in. They can smoke spawn and throw over 3 flashes. That's about it.
Olaf's the only one that's going to be able to spot this ability to hold him off. Swing when he's flashed. He wants Olaf to get the coffins before he has to, so the Molotov knows that they're in that position. Pistols. Should be a shooting gallery, really.
That incendiary was so good from Olaf. See how much time it took. They haven't made their way towards the ball, but Olaf my Sunday works out very nicely for him. Into the latter stage of the first half now. 3 players head towards B, and there's only a single AWP now, so Guardian's definitely there with them. They'll throw their sequence of grenades to smoke down towards T steps. Double incendiary to push back the rush. And then at this point, when you've created this much utility, you have to use that. And sometimes that doesn't always work.
Yeah. The best is a Chad version. Well, it's Guardian that gets the shot back onto Ethan. Yeah, you're right. If you use that much utility and then do nothing with it, what's the point?
Exactly, and just to go into that a little bit further, considering there's some time here, if you want to not challenge Banana at all, you can keep all your utility in the smokes and hold them out towards the end, but obviously then you could be 2 players on the side and it's fine. If you challenge at the very start, you break your utility, you get a pick, and then you can fall back, then they're not going to be able to execute fully. So there's definitely arguments to be made on both approaches. Just depends what the money situation is. Great grenade, by the way. Oof, that does damage. That should be the round in itself. He looks very confident to take this one. He didn't quite get the reload in though. He's got 2 bullets left from 4, as you can see, and he'll fall back. Guardian smoked off. Nico though recovers. Maybe a more substantial one to close out the round. No AWP for Cerq. FaZe recovering now as Guardian. This was classic angle here. Commits. Taps. B control as usual. So you can see, FaZe, they don't want to do it every single round because you'll just wait for them to use all their grenades and retake it. But then if you start suggesting you're changing up every single round, they're not sure what you're going to do, then you can catch them off guard. And that's the idea. You want to be kind of a little bit unpredictable and catch them out.
So Daps forced off of it. Smoke down. They won't really pursue too heavily. 5 in a row either side as we knot back up into a tie. So NRG seems to have certainly been found out. Favorite gun rounds, obviously. FaZe taking the helm there because 5-0 suggests really only 1-2 gun rounds in that period. Saved off. And he's committed anything. So there's no time to respond. Olaf in reload goes down. Kerrigan in retreat found by Ethan. And unfortunately, it was almost, it seemed a little bit haphazard and panicked from FaZe's perspective to try and cut them off with no vision. Efficiency was not really something they had there.
Definitely not. B bomb site continues to be a bit of an issue for FaZe. Kerrigan, Olaf Meister go down with nothing. This is a clean sweep for NRG here. 5 players looking to survive. They'll be huddled around the bomb for now. The round is confirmed. It's weird how Inferno works. Like, on the A bomb side, you can basically stand next to the bomb and be absolutely fine. And towards B, you have to go all the way down to around this point here about logs before you can be safely away from the bomb. It's strange how that works. Go.
Relatively easy, all things considered, because of the swiftness in which they took the B sites. Now, that said, they're going to fortify B a little bit more. You identified it. It's been a problem for them. So 3 men there and aggressive from Guardian.
Yeah, and it hasn't worked out for them. So significant investment in utility. Guardian removed from middle at the very start. They got nothing for that, and they might still leave him here by the looks of things. I think Kerrigan not really happy the fact they got absolutely wrecked in the initial sectors there. Let's see if they can retake it now. So,
again.
Yeah. Kerrigan waiting for the flashbang. He's going to take a challenge here by the looks of things. Flash over. Here's the challenge. Not really good enough this way. Where's the backup? There's no trade potential there. They've got 3 players and one's just been sacrificed alone.
Guardian trying to spot down Banana still passively. They try the exact same retake. The timing of the flash, he still gets back and nails Daps. That's pretty impressive when you consider that he was actually off the angle. The timing was favorable to Daps in that situation. That only took 9 HP, but Breezy follows it up, takes him down, and finds Rain on a spray transfer all the way toward Pit. That's easier said than done in that range.
Yeah, that was actually pretty fantastic from Breezy, I have to say. That spray control to continue the full 30 bullet commitment and get that tiny little window towards the small pit. That's quite cool. 4 on 2, that's another save, I'm afraid, for FaZe. 7-5, NRG looking very comfortable here. And like I said, that retake attempt at the banana area, we've got 3 players out. I don't understand why at that point. If you're not going to back each other up, if Carrigan's just running around isolated, he's really committed as well. It's not like he went for a quick peek. He ran around the half wall and checked the deep angles at that point. Why has Guardian not got to the barrels? Why he's doing that? To be back him up and trade. To be fair, they did eventually get the kill in response, but it felt like Breezy was already way up middle at that point, and
that's Breezy's
mistakes.
Breezy just hit his 6th kill, and he got 2 this round. So after the round that we said, hey, watch out for Breezy, he didn't do anything. On top of that, Cerq has not fragged since they were up 5-0 either. So T-sided op has been less promising now. Ethan, he sits on 12, but you want to identify a problem in B. You want to identify a player who dominated this entire game for a year. Olaf, who's been running the op at times, is 1 kill.
Yeah, well, this is... I don't know why FaZe thought the double AWP is for them. It was when we referenced earlier. Nico used to run it, and every time he did, you and I were like, well, this is when things normally start to fall apart, because you're taking the... At the time, we were talking about that, the world's best rifler, and you're putting him on the AWP, which you can use, but it seems like your defense just falls apart at that point. So I feel like sticking on rifles in 1 AWP would be the solution for FaZe, but they seem very keen on sticking to the secondary AWP as well. Guardian in a good position to look towards underpass. There is a player there, as you can see through the X-ray. Narrowly misses out on the shot and gives up the position of the AWP. Do they want to use this B position they've got right now to execute, get straight in? There is a smoke deployed towards spawn. Daps maybe just suggesting now that they're going to try and go towards B, and it pulls Guardian away. The bomb's not there at B, so they're just probing now and seeing what's available to them.
Daps trying to catch them off as they rotate toward oranges too. Smoke still down toward Coffin, so Ethan won't be able to spot Guardian's position. That's obviously one of the reasons they've rotated Guardian over to the side of the map as well. If Olaf can't find kills, someone needs to. So back over away for him. Changing positions, defensive positions on the fly as well. Clutching it strong. Right, Buckley. Deagle.
Player. And they can't really seem to find their footing on that side of the map, but we'll see. And the Guardian say they're be enough. Nico crosses over. And he is ready for him. Only gets a trade though. Lots of damage inflicted. And the follow-up nade will give FaZe an advantage. 4-3 now.
Olaf, good hold. Waits that time and Daps walks directly into him. Bomb dropped. 8-6 perhaps. Fire his up and catch that one. Now 9 kills. As the op in play. Bomb picked up rather by Breezy. We've called out Olaf. He has responded. He's gotten 3 kills in the last 2 rounds. Might find further. Bait to the boost as well, which is interesting. So shot from Olaf, and he'll immediately rotate to Coffins and try and allow them to run in underneath his teammate. Standing high above and almighty on the wall, of course, is Kerrigan.
Yeah, this is a nice setup. Should be absolutely fine here. Olaf nicely guarantees the round. 4 versus 1 now. Cerq looking to see financial damage, but Olaf, there it is, looking much better on the AWP in that round. 4 kills for him, you're right. Mentioned it when he was 1-8, but that's much better. You can see why. He's comfortable AWPing towards B. It's the final round of the first half now. NRG with cash. They haven't really had to eco too much at all, to be honest. They haven't really had any crazy CZ or Deagle rounds. It will be FaZe looking to split the difference here and get 8-7, or NRG looking for a very successful first half on the T side. If they get 9, this will be incredibly difficult for FaZe to get back into the game. Double up setup again. Shut things down with the initial utility sequence. That made damage towards Daps, but he's fine for now. Seems to be very happy to challenge B almost every single round. Smoke will hold him up for a little bit here. But FaZe have given in slightly. They're not going to be challenging at the very top. It's Olaf once again holding at the CT corner.
This is it, the end of the half. NRG with 8 already. Not bad. Now he needs to get down. Goes back. Off to a flame, right directly to him. And waiting, tanks down. It's 3, make it. old Nico. Let's see what he can do as well. P250 for him. Little more than just a block. Unfortunately, he can't do anything. He's certainly showing class.
Will be sensible here, not forced by, especially if you're the team considered to be that aforementioned underdog. You don't want to throw away your economy. You want to make sure you have everything you need. You need to show Cerq's got his orb. These guys will be a little bit more utility based. As the MP5s come out once again, it's going to be Rain picking up one, Carrigan with the other. If you're not aware, this is the first tournament we've had this year where the MP5 is available. It's actually getting a little bit scary for the FaZe squad. They lost the first kill, but now recovering.
Yeah, they certainly are. Bombs grabbable. Guardian will have that. Fugly gets boosted up that range, and a flash in his face. Not going to find anything on the CZ-75. In fact, tagged down to 27. We'll back off. He'll retreat to the site. Rain, MP5. Starting to clear off. Possible positions on his way toward A. A that's open. Just to note, Cerq the only one nearby, and we can see his position. He's actually on the backside of the site. He's toward the mid wall.
Bomb has been planted.
Let's do some damage, but they'll save. Or will they?
I don't think. Oh, the dropped eagle. PT50s for Fugly and Ethan. Still a chance here, albeit a slight one.
Slight one indeed. Perhaps with a smoke. Just a smoke. And the UMP, I suppose you could add into that in terms of utility. Just a smoke to defend. Molotov already thrown his direction. He'll fall to the site. The rest of his team with just pistols will try and sit toward mid. Pretty classic crossfire setup on take from CT, or from the T's, excuse me.
Yeah, you just want to have trade potential here. And remember yesterday, we talked about teams like Na'Vi who just enter this area of no smokes down everything. At least you have one smoke towards Arch. You can all focus on one area, then go through Molotov this position. I think NRG will be a little bit overwhelmed with the fact they can't get anything going. FaZe is making sure there's smokes down everywhere. There's Molotovs being deployed. Look at these smokes. This is much better. FaZe making sure they get nothing away here. They're aware of the Eagles. Shot towards Ethan. Courtesy of Rain.
Expected. Let's see what they can come up with. The fact that they get the op out on Cerq does have armor, no utility. So everyone else has some smokes and defensive days. At least some to work with, but only one kid as well. Breezy, the one holding on to that.
You can see a lot of teams running the exact same sort of sequence towards Banana on the CT side. That's smoke down towards T steps. 2 or 3 incendiaries, depending on what kind of setup they want to go for here. And remember, after using all that utility, they want to try and use it. Daps did jump behind the half wall, but that's an insta-kill. That's a chance. Ethan waiting. Difficult time as well. Flashbang comes over, doesn't get anything for it. And Nico, already waiting, can hear him. He's aware there are players very close by. Oh my goodness, Ethan has got absolutely destroyed. That the patience of Nico works out for him. Now, he might assume this is clear because 2 players on B, you would assume that would be enough. But he takes Fugly down to 7 HP. He'll give that call towards Carrigan. Maybe should have called he's already smoke spawn, but he'll do it again. And they'll make their way through. Knowing that Fugly's so low, they can pretty much assume he'll be towards ruins.
Fugly just waiting to see if anyone is going to push through. You're right, they can assume that, but he's actually going to fail. He gets away. No one catching him out. Olaf is waiting perfectly on the offside. He's going to only get one though, spotted out from pit.
View. That's his individual greatness, and that's, I guess, NRG kind of going through the same notions we discussed in the first half. They've used that utility, they want to try and get something for it, but they're probably not used to having Nico waiting for them with an AK-47. He destroys them both, and at that point the round's just going to be over, isn't it? Not really much to do about that. 11-8, they did save a couple of weapons here. They haven't fully invested into it to round number 20, but they can still win it. The fact they have the AK in the hands of Breezy, although he has dropped off significantly since yesterday, not really the same form. And down he goes. Oh,
only the other one to Cerq. He'll head over toward A. Fugly and Breezy there with him, and they actually all go the long way toward the apartments and quad. No one playing on Arch early. No one really contesting toward Banana yet because they can't. It is firmly set ablaze. Favorite part of a Brazilian barbecue is actually the fried beans.
I'm not a big fan.
They're the best part by far. Cerq takes down Guardian. Daps, look at that, double op working perfectly.
Looks looking much better. So they get the opening 2 kills here, but there's so much money for FaZe. They'll probably still probe around. They're not just going to run the T-spawn and hold up and wait for the next round to begin. They will definitely have a look around. There's Rains towards middle. Bomb's still down T steps. That's a little bit worrying, but we'll see what the play is here. I think Rains' play is going to be the biggest factor here. He's either getting ready to smoke library there or in the arch. He can do both from that position. They will collect the bomb in T steps, just a note. That was a bit of a worrying factor. And they're all just going to go back towards B. That makes sense, right? Because usually you only have 2 CT players waiting at B. You can have 3 going in on the T side. So if you have a successful entry here, you have a real chance of actually still winning this round. But it would take a bit of a nightmare situation from the likes of Daps. Spots one. Not going to miss that shot. Carrigan times that a little bit peculiarly. And there it is, a little bit lucky from Ethan, perhaps. He sprayed through the smoke. Calculated luck, though. He knew there was players on the other side. And he'll get one. And that's going to be rounds. 20 seconds remaining. AWP looking for some exits if he can. Forward behind his head. And here we go. Not sure he'll find anything here. I don't think the CTs can really justify hunting him either. The fact that they know he's probably got the orb. And our money's so low. Look at the right-hand side of your screen right now. They're all around sub 1,000 apart from Ethan. So even if one player goes down, they're not going to sabotage the money of FaZe, and it's going to actually risk their own. So there we go. Fry some eggs.
Fry some eggs. That seems to be the fun thing to do when you realize you haven't done anything else in the round.
So we'll give the orb to Guardian, presumably in the DD will. 12-9 now. Still anyone's game, especially with NRG on the CT side. Much better approach from them. The double orb setup looked fantastic, actually.
Yeah, that did look really good. Very assertive, very aggressive. Caught off a kill apiece to start off the rounds. Here's Dapses, which we didn't catch on camera. Quite good after that. So 12-9, they finally get one back. Now this does leave the availability for reset potential. Yeah, that looked all well and good, except that there's no one there.
Yeah, it's the T-side nuke towards the top of Banana there. The AWP is awaiting. You can destroy them, but no one there to receive, you're right. So.
Didn't sign off on the package. Return to sender. Imagine, just all the dates come flying back. Oh, damn.
Big round here for either team. Money weak on both sides. Olof looking at the first frag. He's not going to anticipate the second, or is he? He seems to know. He's taken Breezy down to 68. He's going to keep spamming here. Hopefully catch him on the retreat. But for now, advantage FaZe. 5 on 4. They've got mid control as well. And the rotations begin. Cerq with a lot of pressure here, but normally rises to the occasion. Continually thrown towards quad to buy them a little bit more time, maybe reposition. As they wait now. Olof stuck in boil up. Here comes Carrigan. Already got a smoke towards library. They might go for the banana split here, considering there's a player in the form of Nico waiting towards banana.
Ethan certainly trying his level best to go against Rain. He gets caught out. There's 2 there, and Rain's able to find the angle first. So it leaves us with Daps now a little bit scared. Watching the round. It's going to take away
what?
Cerq and Breezy. They've only 1 kill from the site itself. Breezy locking down Pit finds 3. Such an integral part of the map, but that's right. It is over. That looked so good when they opened up CT spawn.
That was a 5 on 3.
Breezy gets everyone. Okay, I shouldn't say everyone. Cerq got 1. Breezy gets the 3 others. That's unreal.
That's pretty insane. If they had just gone to the B's bomb site, I think the fact they had someone who's probing towards A was actually the downfall there. Nico was ready at B. He'd already got the kill. It was a 5 versus 3. But I guess the fact Olof Meister killed a player in apartments, it was like, well, let's keep going with it. Breezy, we didn't know he got 1 to smoke, to be fair. That is unfortunate, but still, amazing round for NRG and a frustrating one for FaZe. They get those opening kills like that, it all falls apart. That's the impact we've been looking for Breezy this entire map. It's finally turned up. Great stuff. 12-10. Anyone's game indeed. Let's see what this round will bring. This will be breaking point for FaZe. Not so much for NRG. Breezy with 5k. Similar story for Cerq. Daps hovering around 4. So they've got 1 more buy in the bag.
Daps trying to cover off cross with the op. Still sitting there with it as well. He'll rotate back to the site. They're going to go for the boost. This will get them void of consequence against certain utilities. I say certain because flashes certainly can still help. But smokes you'll see mostly above them. Molotovs won't get you. They'll be underneath. Ethan, exactly that, will be fine in that position. And swoops down into the smokes, gets the kill. Drops off the position. He's still alive in the back of the site. Surely, no, he's gone. They actually got him. Excuse me. Olaf. Damage done by Rain, and Olaf's Molotov that was still sitting below did the last tick of damage. Flash goes through. Cerq has to wait indeed for Fugly. Wait indeed. Pit, he's going to lead back far.
Bomb ticking away at some pace now over the halfway mark, and Olaf great position, but the flashbang might be even better. He might have to repeat now. There's an all waiting on the other side for him. They know it as well. He's trying to buy as much time as he can. He does get the kill, and it's perfectly done by Olaf Meister. Cerq can't do anything about this. He's going down as well. The bomb blast is going to get him. So he is absolutely done for.
I guess they all get out of the bomb.
Yes.
Fair enough. I thought you might try and just say, screw it, I'm going down. Let's make sure you're going down with me.
Yeah, everyone did. So FaZe are going to be compromised in terms of their finances. But Olaf, you see what he did there? The fact he sits in that Molotov, he knew it was designed to flush him out. After the flashbang as well, they're waiting for him to peek. He gave it to the very last second and pre-fired the corner, knowing they would be there. Gets the one kill he required. That guaranteed the round. There was no time for Cerq to even attempt it. Everyone went down. So, sure, a difficult round for both teams as we try and buy up into round number 24 here. UMP for Carrigan, MP9 for Dabs. It's funky on the CZ, but Cerq's got the orb. He hasn't been the showstopper today, I have to say. It's been a little quieter than usual, 13 kills. Still not a bad game, but yesterday it was pretty lights out. A few rounds here at the first map. This best of 3 could go the distance. Flashbangs in, faster approaching the space. They start to swarm the site. It's the UMP opening things up. He's trying to shut it down, but he can't replicate the form from that previous round where he managed to get 3 from the pit. They're going to have to concede at this point already, Matt.
Absolutely. So, despite getting 2 in a row and looking relatively convincing in doing so, it's... I say relatively convincing, they were both timeouts, thank you for throwing that on the scoreboard, but they were timeouts which actually suggest that they were so convincing the T's had time to save.
Yes.
Right? That means like it was done so early, they actually said, we have no chance in this. That said, they've now lost 2 in a row in return, so break their money back down, so they have to save these weapons. And it's going to put FaZe on 14. Remember, Mirage is next. We go to train if required.
Mirage is next. It's, I don't know, it's weird the way I think the weapons, the UMPs, the MP9s run down, get it done. Maybe this is it. I can see 3 players there. Cerq's there with the AWP. He'll smoke a flash from looks of things. And indeed, he's going to send those lesser weapons just down to the forefront. No smoke, they want to challenge. And let's see if it works out for them. But Ethan's come out on top.
Certainly has. Daps as well, with Ethan getting that kill, is able to burrow in by the tree, or that formerly named, and hold the position and anchor the banana. He's going to rotate off it, though, because they realize they've done such a tremendous job. They've been so influential that, in fact, FaZe has already rotated and gone toward A. Breezy once more from the paint, swings out 1.5 kills. Fugly's gotten rain, which means Olaf really has no chance in this plays. Ethan will come out to finish off Breezy's work.
Come out and make plays like this, jump on top, have vision still, not be grey screens. In the past, a lot of teams would just smoke in the entrance of the balcony. It does shroud your exit, at least, of the apartment itself. I prefer to have the option to challenge if you'd like to. So, Cerq smoking at the start, and then over to the Eco, and Eco confirms it by firing the deagle at the top there. They have not got armor, just to note, so didn't want to invest a significant amount. Make sure they hold on to the cash. Ethan, I'm sure, is aware that's playing towards loft as well as smoke is there. And the nade will confirm that fact. Dabs takes rain down.
Dabs indeed does. Gives the opening to NRG, so looking to try and still redeem themselves on this CT side. FaZe willing to accept they've got a few rounds buffer, so they'll go to pistols and then try and bring out guns. Rotates the race to the library, but Nico's a bit of a bookworm, Hank.
No.
Just let it.
That was
stew.
almost as bad as what I did with the kitchen and making the sandwich the other day.
Yeah,
Mirage.
yeah, that wasn't great.
That wasn't great.
No. So the thing is, I draw attention to it by saying Hank.
Yeah.
I should have just let it.
Just let it sit there.
Yeah, let it breeze over.
Yeah.
He's sitting with the UMP, and he's going to get Guardian as well. So that changes the round because it leaves Nico left alive, and Caps is able to find him with an MP9 at range. We now sit 14-12. Not a lot done by the pistols, but here comes the AWP of Guardian. I still say the best T-sided optic on Inferno.
I think Cerq, apart from this game, would challenge him.
And Oscar.
Oscar as well. Those, for me, those are great names in the mix right now. But round 27. NRG fighting back here valiantly. We will see Guardian with no helmet. That's quite a significant factor when the MP9's out, the M4s as well. Of course, vulnerable to one-taps. Not aware. Four connects with the head. One helmet, and it's good. 88 damage. Towards the outside. Minute of it heads towards the apartments. Pretty far in the corners. Not really much established just yet. Kansas banana control coming in. Nico successfully up. No damage taken. And he can call for his team to fall back if he feels like it's a good idea. Remember, we don't know who's calling right now. Could be Nico, could be Carrigan.
Could be Olaf.
If Carrigan's smart, he'd probably try and force the issue that he calls, because at that point you have to ask what's Carrigan's purpose in the squad.
Absolutely. I think Guardian's
We'll see. I don't know.
Fugly gets back inside of the site after making a bit of contact toward top side of mid. They know certainly that he was there. He's worried, rightfully so, that there might be action toward the apartments. He does still have Breezy behind him. Fortunately, late work. That was well intended, but poorly executed. He goes down. Cerq gets the kill back. That funnels them back to A, but this time Breezy won't have a walk in the park. He'll take a bit of rain.
Guardians in such a prime position here. I'm not sure they even go for this. No, I don't think they will. This is completely shut down. The fact that Nico pulled so much attention away towards the B-bomb site. You saw how deep he got before they took him down. He's actually all the way in CT spawn by the time they found him. If you have T-sided players in CT spawn at that stage of the round, it's going to pull off a few players from the A sites. That certainly worked out. Rain nails the shot towards Pit to find Breezy, and at that point, nothing really could be done. Fugly dropped as well, and they have to just concede and allow map point to go in favor of FaZe here, as Ethan will find a frag here. No problem at all. That's Carrigan going down. Holds in position, but needs to be careful where. If he goes down, it's not really worth him finding kills. He needs to stay alive. It's actually pretty decent for the CTs, considering they want this
Punish pick for the merciless. Apparently someone said I was wrong. There's actually 5 Vespas.
It's 5 what?
Vespas, remember I asked you.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's 5. So you didn't even know when you called it? You were
Listen, man, I don't know anything.
doing quizzes.
I don't know anything about
Guessing yourself,
Counter-Strike, and I
one of
call
the
in too.
contestants and the host. I like it.
Wouldn't be the first time. Go back and watch the halftime shows that we did. Oh, I had all of the answers wrong to some of the questions.
Just say,
Like,
no, that's wrong, I'm afraid. He wants the money for charity. It's
the
not
only one
happening.
that ever called me out was Anders.
Yeah.
He was like, no, you're wrong. And I was like, nah, I'm pretty sure
I'm
I'm
pretty
not.
sure I'm fine there. I'm not going to check, but anyway, opening pick from Cerq. WP looking very efficient at the start. Takes down his rival sniper Guardian. Will he get anything more done here? I would say so. Like I said, if NRG can win this round, I'm saying overtime's pretty locked in. The money situation must be out of control. They'll have to take a full eco or a force buy. Then presumably have nothing for round number 30. So quality seats. Counter-Strike overtime mania might be continuing. But Nico, look at the rotations he's caused in that one pick. They've taken the bait. This is actually a very interesting now. Fugly not getting the insta-kill. This could be the deciding factor right here. It's up to Daft to find kills. But Cerq, great job. Takes the bomb down. 3 versus 2. It was looking like it was over. But Rain pulls it back. 20 seconds remain. Nico is low.
Tries desperately to pull something.
Took a chance. That's when it all goes horribly wrong. I can take a full eco. This is exactly how I described it. So, you know, they've saved it all. They've lost that previous round, and then how do you even get money for that final round now? It's going to be down to Nico with the AWP. Nothing around him. They're not even going to try and win the round with an AWP. Try and close things out in round number 30. MP5's out for Daps. He knows their money absolutely destroyed at this point. Nico. Okay, he could get an opening pick here. If he gets the kill cleanly and they can get the rifle, there's a chance.
Nico up, trying to open up the banana side of the map. It's a bit of a sight. A bewildered sight to feast your eyes upon, Henry.
Indeed.
You never know what wild creatures lurk inside of it. Right now, it's all 5 FaZe players. Goes off. The only saving grace for them is actually fallen back. It's going to try and line up toward top side of middle in hopes that they'll catch someone in transition, but without any confidence, without any courage, they'll back away from B. They don't want to take the fight without weapons to do so, and rotation is such that there's 3 players waiting with a crossfire on that side of the map, so they can actually still beat them back and isolate them onto A, so long as Nico can get positioning with that op. MP5 up just for Daps, by the way, I want to point that out.
Easy kill for Cerq. No problem at all there, but Nico's still alive and kicking. He's got armor and the AWP. They're going to try and bait out everything they can here. I'm not sure what the run boost is going to achieve. Cancel that. Focus on spawn with the Glocks perhaps. Nico just trying to take some damage with the flames. They're getting burnt alive here. They need to die at this point. That sounds weird, but they're running out of time. They need to make sure money is brought over.
You can only have 2 eggs. You need to tell catering to give me more.
Ridiculous. Do we just go speak to someone? Like, come on, we're all adults here.
Yeah, it's not hard to do. It was Pasha and it was kind of funny, so I excused it because it's like, I need more protein.
Yeah.
Like, you're right, just go speak to someone. This is Breezy gets in behind them, and you called it. It's Inferno.
Yeah.
And it's overtime, Hank. It's looking more and more likely given this positioning. There's nowhere they can go. They're locked into banana.
They have locked the doors. NRG have got FaZe trapped, squirming inside a cage full of bananas. They'll have to fall back. What's the play here? This is so uncomfortable for them now. They don't have any footing on the map whatsoever. Their best hope is to operate as a unit and hopefully trade out kills. But Breezy's been such a nuisance here. Interesting, he didn't fully commit to holding them in towards C-Steps. I guess he knew the prospect of them hunting for him. He's actually being a bit of a snake in the grass now. He holds up. He's actually negated all of them and held towards T-Step. They've got no idea. He's done such a fantastic job here. What a legend. Great player. Really been enjoying his trajectory upwards in the last few months. It was always Ethan and Cerq for me, but Breezy really has looked stellar, and that's going to be overtime. We called it at, what, 15-12, and we've made it.
Well, Guardian, 20 seconds. They've got to go for it. They'll still stew over the possibility he and Nico with what little utility they do have left. Smokes go out towards CT. Smokes go out towards no not bad positions to cover, but there's a counter smoke and Guardian hits Ethan. Gives Nico a chance toward the water position. He can't find Fugly. Gets a look towards his 2. Flank, and it's Fugly.
He recovered and thought he had just fallen back. Takes 2 more down and sabotages their attempts. But FaZe now with weaponry once again. Remember, it's 16k R3 here. ESL ONE New York. We'll see. Fugly open things up. Can he get away though safely? It's going to be tough. He will be punished for it, but damage inflicted, so still not a complete waste of effort. 4 and 4 certainly favours FaZe.
Certainly does. Overtime. Finally, they look like they could get the rounds that they were being denied of for so long. They got friend-zoned.
Indeed.
God damn the friend zone.
You hate to see it.
I think she still wants me to be her bride. Kidding. Or Cerq winning with the op. It is still Kerrigan. Cubby. Distinguished by Ethan. Perhaps suggestive, or hopefully suggestive that he's there. Is he? No, certainly. Oh, watch next phase. Nonetheless, it's the bomb over toward B. It's Guardian that wants to try and find a pick. Forced off by a Molotov. Couldn't actually catch the transition. In which Daps rotated out from the room. He got to the backside of the site, but watch out for Quad Breeze. He's inside a pit, and he's got to hold this forward. He's done well in the past. Big more passive this time. Doesn't have to go to the inners of the site. Nico checks it. Breezy gone. That should surrender the rest.
They should, but 16k is possible. NRG won't be trying to save cash here. They'll probably just be going for it. And as I say that, they're actually just bailing out. I would say that's definitely worth a go, at least in the first round. But looking at the bigger picture, I guess, they didn't go for a double orb setup. I think that would have been 5 for cash, whatever happened. But, oh, they did go for double orbs, I beg your pardon. So there we go. Maybe that's why. I know they are a little bit affected in that regard. Went for the full investments, the upgraded pistols, utility, double orbs. Didn't work out for them in FaZe. Can't believe their luck. In towards A they went. Nico and Carrigan finding the kills, most important of which was towards Breezy in the pit. Phenomenal in that position so far. Everyone will survive for FaZe, and indeed for NRG as well. But not a huge factor considering the economic situation of overtime. There's Daps. Really would like to take Inferno, of course. I feel like if they drop that map, it's going to be another maybe 2-0, possibly 2-1. But I just don't see them taking the series if they let Inferno slip by.
Yep. Rip to their series chances.
Still early days. 1-0 for FaZe, yep. Double up setup still out. Daps and Cerq. Guardian looking to take them down. Defensive positions towards middle at least, certainly not here. Ethan checking out the logs. No one waiting for him. This is what the smoke and utilities are all about. You can get full banana control like that. It's fantastic. And so we'll get the first kill. Hits that Guardian again. I'd like to see the stats in that. Great job.
That's a lot of ammo used. He's got 11 bullets off the pit Breezy, and he's got a lot more than that ahead of him. Thanks to now just Nico and Rain and Cerq's on the doorstep to help him out. So should be fine. He looks pretty damn good.
He really is.
Like, not picked up by the old spy leader bubble Victor.
Yeah, well, I guess he's probably quite young compared to those guys.
Definitely. Yeah, it's not like they just overlooked him entirely. He was really young, and by the time that they were an established team, he was just not there. Like, so taking the chance to go to America as well, being that young, doing as good as he is, it's really great to see.
Why not? Give it a go. Great opportunity. Taking it by the horns. Who will take the advantage here in the first half of overtime? Time will tell. NRG, I have to say, the last 10 rounds or so have looked like the better squad. Has been impressive. You see they can missed shot finally from Cerq. Bit of breathing room here for FaZe. Seconds, and he'll take down Ray. He has been such a valuable asset for this NRG squad. For the first half, I think he finished with like 6 kills. Now he's up to 22. Really has turned his game around. And you'll see the boost towards CP score. NRG in a 5 versus 4. FaZe might have to give this one up and go 2-1. So down to Nico once again alone, making his way in, trying to get some information here. Can he do anything about the boosted player? I'm not sure he can. It's such a difficult position to try and take down. But Daps not maybe aware that Nico's so close, but he's given there at least one of the shots. Not quite. This is the first, and now FaZe are in.
On the no answer for it's not quick enough to find Nico, and that means sight is truly open. FaZe could take the 2-1 lead at the end of the first half of the first overtime. We have to make sure we're clear on that, because there's likely to be more at this rate. Trading rounds as we are. FaZe still holding off. Breezy's gotten one back on Guardian. Cerq's trying to line up the AWP, but there's no need to go for the pink. The pistol won't suffice.
Not sure. The ideal setup for the squad, but that's what they'll be going towards this round at least. And I'll deal with this lead, just looking to get that first round, apply the pressure, get map point first. Get into it now. Hold off and go. Waiting for the sequence of grenades.
Passive, Kerrigan getting away with a lot of this. Breezy still inside of that boiler doorway once Fugly's trying to help out, and he will get inside of the staircase now. Crossfire, but they're not timing it right. Fugly's not in a position to go with. They needed to pick that together, Hank.
They certainly did. Olaf. He's been headshot. What do you get out of this one? Takes some fancy footwork, but he's done it. But still. Oh, he gets nothing done. His B bomb site's proving to be an issue. This could still be an NRG round for sure. That's the kill. And now it's a 2 versus 3. But luckily the bomb's down in T-spawn. So that's something for FaZe here. But still, I'm worried for them. The B bomb site really is an issue. Seems like it collapses so very easily. Look at Cerq. He's actually making his way towards A. They've taken the bait, hook, line, and sinker. And I dare say NRG have done enough here.
Okay, now I think that happened. Yes.
They still think it's B.
Because Ethan knows that he's just killed one that was staring from CT, so if they're looking at that site from CT, they think that it's going to be there. Rain calls it, they rotate back now, but Ethan smartly goes down banana.
Indeed. There are slightly different bomb sounds now for each site, just a note, so you can get a pretty early call where it's going, but this is over. So, well established. That's happening. What a call. Scales, and it will be a great finish there. They're going to find map point first. So now, double overtime is the best possible outcome for FaZe now in the next 2. It's all down to that Cerq call. He was the one that runs up middle. All 3 FaZe players took the bait towards the B-bomb site. And I'm not sure if it was by design, because Cerq had to run back and get the bomb at T-steps. He's like, well, if I'm doing this anyway, I might as well just get down there. And there it is, finishing things off in style. Cerq now close to 30 kills, 24. There we go. Same story for Ethan as well. Those two really have pulled up their socks. Breezy 22, Guardian 12 and 18. Not really his best for someone we consider to be one of the best Inferno players, you know?
What? Just around this side. Rain pretty aggressively take down Ethan. Dap still wants back out with the AWP. Takes a nade for his troubles, gets taken down to 23. Meanwhile, Breezy starting to look as to what's going on the A site. And the rotations arrive. This is getting very close because down at the bottom of Banana, they've sent Olaf. They can afford to rotate early and catch off toward the arch. Great positioning therefore from Rain. Doesn't have the aggressive look as to see all the way across toward the site itself. Kerrigan's moments from Library. And yes, great push, great hold from FaZe.
Counter-Strike continues to deliver with the overtimes. AK-47 available for Rain here. That could be a catalyst to getting this double overtime. Time will tell. Grenade to the deployment start of the team. Anxiously waiting for them, and it's a faster approach here. Guardian, like I said, a slow game for him. Doesn't get much. Another miss, that could cost them the game. As Nico now, a lot of pressure towards him, needs to deliver headshots, and this could be the winning moment for NRG. Rain doing what he can with that aforementioned AK. 3 versus 3. Bomb will be planted.
Nico dinked Daps all the way at Library in that panic situation, but still couldn't make it work. And you're right, bomb planted, NRG looking to try and wrap this up here. Now flash through, doesn't catch Rain, goes to Tomoto. And hold until his teammates are somewhat confident, if you want to call it that, trying to take back this site. But Daps realizes that Rain was there the whole time, then removed it. Ethan, he'll take down Kerrigan. It leaves us with Olaf in a 1-on-3, and Ethan hits that as well. 19-17 energy take map number 1.
Would you look at that? NRG somehow take the first map against FaZe. Excellent stuff, and I have to say, Cerq, someone else calling on the first half with almost no impact. What an amazing call he made to grab that bomb at T-steps and manage to get back towards the A-bomb site. It made FaZe look foolish, and that's a very difficult thing to do. FaZe would be gutted that one, Matt. It felt like it was their game. Remember, they were up 15-12 before it all fell apart for them.